Welcome to Backstage with Richard Ridge, Dan Brown's best-selling mystery novel, The Da Vinci Code, which has sold over 100 million copies worldwide and is one of the most successful film franchises of all time, has been turned into a play by Rachel Wagstaff and Duncan Abel, and it will have its American premiere at the Ogunquit Playhouse from August 24th through September 23rd. And I am joined by author Dan Brown and two of the show's stars, Michael Urie and Hannah Cruz. I am so thrilled that this has been turned into a play. So, Dan, I'd like to start with you. How thrilling is it for you when you found out that your incredible best-selling novel was being turned into a play?
Well, it was thrilling and terrifying. I thought, well, that's impossible. There's 160,000 intricate words. How do you turn this into a stage play with basically one point of view, that being the audience's? And fortunately, Rachel Wagstaff and Duncan, they've done just this phenomenal job on the script. It's so tight, it's so fun, and I really, it's a thrill and also an honor to have a story that you've created reimagined and retold in a new medium. And I'm really excited for people to see it.
So, for Michael and Hannah, when you first got the play and you read it, what made you each say, yes, I have to be a part of this?
Well, the play is a page turner, just like the book. I had read the book. I actually once I was reading the book once. I don't think I've told you this, but I was reading the book in an airport, and I missed a flight. I actually missed my flight because I was so, and I looked up and I thought, why haven't they called my flight yet? And they had, and I just was not, because I was so the play, when I read the play, it was as exciting to burn through as the movie. And I was, like, I've never been on Law and Order. I'm the only actor in New York who's never been on Law and Order, and I've always wanted to play a character that's like solving something that I think thinking as an actor is the most fun thing you can do. And there's so much thinking in this. And what's really exciting about having all the source material is you can go and look and see, what were they thinking? What did Dan say they were thinking? So I read it and I loved the property. I was just so excited about getting to play a thinker and fulfill my Law and Order dreams. And I was very, very game.
Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to do a play for a very long time. And when this came in my email, I was on vacation, I think, when I was reading it. And I remember my fiance was trying to talk to me, and I was like, hold on, 1 minute. And I blew through the script like faster than I've ever blown through any script. And I was very, very, very intrigued by it. I think, like, I have said this a couple of times, but like, my brain hasn't gotten a chance to work like this in quite a while. And I love doing new projects that make my brain work in a different way, because then you walk away and it's like your toolbox has grown bigger, which is all you can ask for. So yeah, I was very excited about it.
So, Dan, for you, watching your words all over again come to life by these two and this remarkable cast, what has that been like for you?
Well, it's funny. I have not yet seen this version of the play, so I'm as excited as everybody else. Certainly, I'm familiar with Michael and Hannah's work and know how talented they are, and I also put a lot of faith in the opinion of the director and producer and all the people who said, "Trust me, these guys are perfect." So I'm as excited as everybody else. We'll see what it is, but I happen to know that those people who've been in rehearsals are very excited. And I should mention, I have chosen not to be in rehearsals, not because I'm lazy or disinterested. I just try to stay out of the way and let the pros do what the pros do. And I'll be a tourist on opening night. Is probably the best way for me to interact at this point.
Oh, so this is going to be really exciting for you to sort of just watch the curtain go up and watch this magic happen at the Algonquin Playhouse.
It's going to be terrific. In fact, I just now met Michael and Hannah for the first time. Just now. So.
Okay, so Michael and Hannah, let's talk about these roles. I mean, talk about falling in love with Sophie and Robert. What it's been like for you? I mean, Hannah, I'll start with you. What's it been like living in her world?
It's been, I honestly feel like I've gotten more intelligent just by playing her through osmosis. I haven't like I said, I haven't accessed these things since like I was in school, which was like I didn't go to college, so that was a long time ago. And I I love how anxious she is to solve things. She's like very impatient, which is like fun to play. And I've loved working with Michael, like just adored it. And our scenes together is like, it's like the happiest as an actor I've been. So it's, yeah.
I wish I could say the same.
There's the comedian all over again. There he goes.
We also
Oh,
laugh a lot.
We laugh a lot.
A lot.
We are having a really wonderful time. And I think there's something, I think that is in part because there's so much, the play is very serious at times, and we have to kind of like, let the air out of the room. But it's also fun. It's a fun story. The story is fun. So we're having fun figuring it out. And there's so many discoveries, there's so many moments where, we say something like, I've got it, which is like, fun. And we get to surprise each other. And but as far as playing Robert Langdon, who is such a cool character and has so much source material because he's in a lot of the books, a lot of Dan's books. I have there was, they're big shoes because everybody has their idea of what he's like from reading the book. Of course, we have Tom Hanks's version to look to. And the guy from the TV show, whose name I can't think of, but
Ashley Zuckerman.
Yes, who's great and different, which I was, he's very different than Tom, which is really cool to see that you can inhabit different, you can inhabit the role differently, but having the material, having the kinds of discoveries. We have a scene where I walk into the Louvre and there's no one there. It's closed. And in the play, we just walk in. But in the book, there are all these wonderful descriptions about what he's thinking as he's walking through the Louvre. And so I only have a moment to play them, but I've got all of that brain stuff from the book. And then there's the other books. Like there's a moment in Angels and Demons where Langdon sees, I sound like a nerd. I'm a geek now. I'm sounding like I'm a Dan Brown geek, but he sees the Illuminati symbol for the first time, and there's this the influx of feelings for seeing it. He's a symbologist. He's a religious symbologist. And so many of these things are hypothetical to him, and then they're real. And this book, this story is filled with those. So sometimes I can tap into what Langdon goes through in the other books in our story, which is really cool. I mean, sometimes you get a lot of material in a play, sometimes you get a lot of history in a play, and sometimes you just get what's on the page. You have to come up with everything based on what they've given you, and this has a whole host of material to reach back to. It's great.
You realize there are so many worldwide fans. I mean, Dan, this book alone has sold over 100 million copies. Everybody loves the film. People are going to like flood to the Ogunquit Playhouse to see this come to life on stage. Dan, tell me what it means to you to have the American premiere happening at the Ogunquit and on the seacoast, what that means to you.
It's funny. It feels like a tradition. I'm thrilled. I couldn't imagine it anywhere else. When Da Vinci Code came out as a novel, my publisher already knew it was going to debut at #1. The pre-sales were very, very high. And they said, we want to have your opening event at the Union Square Barnes & Noble, biggest Barnes & Noble in the world in New York City. So that's not going to happen. It's going to be at my local bookseller, who had stood by me for 4 books that sold 10 copies total. And so we did it there. And we also did premieres for the 3 Ron Howard films in Exeter, New Hampshire, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And it just feels perfect, like it was destiny to have the North American premiere of this, stage play Da Vinci Code right here on the seacoast. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah. And for Michael and Hannah, having the premiere of the Ogunquit Playhouse and just being back on stage again. We had the pandemic for such a long time, and all of a sudden you're doing live theater, and this is such a special piece, what it means to both of you.
I love Ogunquit. It was actually my first job back after the pandemic was Ogunquit Playhouse in 2021. We did Young Frankenstein here, like outside in a tent, because we couldn't be in the theater yet. So this is my first show actually in the Playhouse. So that's really exciting. But I love it here. This time of year is beautiful. It's like so bucolic and lush and lovely, and the food is amazing. And just to be able to like, it's just kind of ideal, right? Because like to get a break from the city, which we all know can be a bit much, and to be able to like go home at night in a beautiful surroundings and then go do a play and come, it's just like, it's like an ideal way of life that we don't get to access a lot. So I'm just happy to be here.
This is my first time here. I arrived last night, so I'm soaking it all in. But I've always loved going to working at theaters that have a dedicated audience. I've been in lots of shows where we have to find an audience, hunt for an audience in New York or wherever, and that's great too. And when a show finds an audience, there's nothing better. But having a dedicated audience like the Ogunquit has is it's a very special thing, because you know that these are the people who are helping keep the theater alive, and they're coming to hear a story, and they don't come with a bunch of preconceived ideas, and it's not like I heard this was good, now show me, like which you get sometimes off Broadway or on Broadway. They're dedicated, they are enthusiastic, and I mean I've been here 10 hours and I've already had conversations. I've already had 2 different people ask me for tickets. Yes. Some guy asked me for 6 tickets. He was like, I need six tickets any day, any Saturday, any Saturday. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll see what I can do. And it's sweet. Like that means people want to go. People in town they know about it. They want to go. They're dedicated. And I'm gonna try to get them those tickets. I'm gonna get those tickets for you, Bill.
You know what?
I love that. Talk about your director, please. What it's been like being. How do you pronounce Lee's last name?
Tony.
Okay, so I wasn't sure. So like fabulous.
Yeah.
I'll let one of you two say it. What is it like being in the rehearsal room and creating with this person?
Tony's very Lee. Tony is very, very cool. We really, I like Lee so much. I drove here with her. I was willing to spend 5 hours in a car with her. That's how much I like her.
I jumped in the ocean with her this morning. A big fan of Lee.
Yeah.
Lovely. She's so easy to talk to, and I love like having little moments apart with her just to talk about like how the show is like settling in our bones and all this. Like I feel so comfortable with her, and I also trust her opinion and implicitly. So I've really enjoyed working with her.
Ditto. And she knows the play inside and out. She worked on it when it was done in the UK before, so she has all of that information. And I now know everything about her because we spent 5 hours in a car together. She started her career working with young people and underprivileged people making theater. And so when we got to rehearsal, she was like, all right, everybody in a circle, we're going to play a game. And for actors, when somebody says that, usually you're like, oh no, like it's like the kiss of death. Like no games. But these games have been the best. They're so fun. And the play's kind of a game. So like we like find ourselves, it energizes the play in a way. And that's not just a warm-up, and it's not just like getting to know each other and being comfortable with each other. It really energizes the discoveries in the play. And the games are great. Like sometimes you'll play a game and it's like winner or loser game. These aren't winner or loser games. These are just games. There's just us all as a company coming together and laughing and having fun and making discoveries, and it's infused in the play. And I think people, when they come see the play, will feel a sense of play because of it.
Now, let's talk about the look of the show. There's projections and the set. Like when that was all described to both of you, like what went through your mind?
Well, we haven't seen it yet, so we're really excited. Today's our first day of tech, so after we finish with you guys, we're gonna go see what it actually looks like. But Lee has described for us a lot of what it's gonna look like. But I think it's gonna inform quite a bit
Totally.
for what we're doing.
And music
Yes.
too. There's a lot of music, underscoring and stuff like that. And you need it because it's literally globetrotting. Like we go all over the place in this. So we have, and sometimes we're like, now we got to go to this room, and we run, and like things change. And so it's gonna be really vital to the show. And apparently it's stunning. I mean, it's a lot of the people who did Life of Pi. And so there's like Tony Award winners and Olivier Award winners and stuff. So, you know, these are good people.
See, this is great though. So you go to tech today, you're going to walk into the Algonquin, and all of a sudden more magic, you know, that almost that final bit before the audience comes in, you're going to see all the projections and all the lighting and all the set pieces moving in front of you. That's going to be really great. So Dan, you're not going to go up until opening night or the first performance?
No, I'll be there on Thursday for the initial performance. I mean, I'll be there certainly on opening night, but I'll see it a bunch of times before opening night.
So let's just talk about the fan base of this incredible book and these films. Like, Dan, have you been able to like sit over the years and figure out like everyone, millions and millions of people have fallen in love with the books and have fallen in love with the films? What do you think it is? What do you think, you know, that connection is between your books and the audience?
I think Hannah sort of touched on it earlier. She said she feels smarter, and we all love to learn. And the nicest compliment I ever got was this old woman who said, "You know what I like about your books? I'm getting my vegetables, but it tastes like ice cream." I thought, there it is. There it is. Like it's funny. You try to make it feel effortless. It's very, very difficult to, you know, as an actor can tell you, to simplify enormous amounts of information down into a kernel that's digestible and understandable. But I really think that's what these books do. And that's what I set out to do, is to, you know, obviously tell a story and entertain, but also get people thinking about big ideas and you know, maybe reminded of things that they thought, well, I studied that once, but what was that all about? And how's it relevant to the real world? I think that's what people react to. And I'm sure that's part of what they'll react to in the play as well.
Yeah. For Hannah and Michael, the same thing for you. Like, Michael, you read the book at an airport, you missed your flight, you know, but it's like, what do you think is the attraction where you can't put these books down?
I think I'm not a writer, so I don't know how Dan does it, but like every chapter is like, right now I'm reading, I can't remember but I'm reading one of your books right now. I'm reading Digital Fortress right now. And I can't stop. It's just like every chapter, they're short, and then they end on like such a cliffhanger that it's like, okay, well, I have time for another chapter. So, and then you just keep going and going and going. And that's how the script felt to me when I read it. It's just, everything is a new discovery. And so when you get new information, you can't help but think like, well, what more is there to this? And there's always questions with the information. So it's like you're getting a reward, you're getting a dopamine hit from the new information, but there's still more to learn. So there's still like that anticipation. It's like a drug. It's great.
And this one specifically, Da Vinci Code specifically, that it deals with such massive global phenomenons like the Mona Lisa or Leonardo da Vinci and the church. Like, these are big old topics that everyone has an opinion about. You know, whether you love the Mona Lisa or don't get the Mona Lisa, you have an opinion about the Mona Lisa. And same with the church. And so I think a narrative woven through these sort of household topics is exciting for anyone to put themselves in the adventure.
Well, listen, I thank you all for dropping by with me today for Broadway World. I want to tell our audience once again, the Da Vinci Code will have its US premiere at the Ogunquit Playhouse from August 24th till September 23rd. And for tickets, go to algonquitplayhouse.org. Have the best time. I hope to take a car ride up there and see you all up there. Have the best time. Thanks for dropping by, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Richie.
Richie.
Come see us.
Take care.